Today is a special treat, and we have an outstanding presentation from Cesar Valderrama, who will sing the national anthem. So please come forward.
Mexicanos a grito de guerra, el acero aprestad y el ruido, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Ciño patria tus sienes de oliva, de la paz del arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar con su planta tu suelo, pienso, patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos a grito de guerra, el acero aprestad y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.
Wow. So, can you come every Tuesday and do that? That was wonderful. Thank you so very much. So, Rotary's work in rural communities is almost always focused on young mothers aspiring to achieve a better life for themselves and their children. And we're going to show you a short video about some of that work we're doing. So about our club, I'm going to brag for a moment. We're a Mexican Rotary club that happens to speak English. We are a club that is enjoying extraordinary results this year. Since July 1st, we have grown our membership by 35%. Our new members do not fit the traditional profile of old school Rotary members. We've added more women, more youth, more diversity, more Mexicans. And this is not an accident. We want our club to represent our community, and that means welcoming and including members that represent broadly the San Miguel population. Our club promotes many activities, such as this meeting today. We try to bring relevant topics to you at our Tuesday meetings. In fact, on next week, we're going, as a prelude to Day of the Dead, we're going to learn more about Wilco Roeg's work in death and dying in San Miguel. Also note that largely due to the support in its early days, that hospice care is thriving and helping all levels of our society to achieve good results at the end of life. We can boast that we are the only home care hospice in Mexico. We are especially excited today to expect a special announcement from our mayor that will result in the very first hospice training and care center in Mexico. And yes, it's in San Miguel de Allende. It's amazing. And we have to give special thanks to Syndico Faviola and also to Sofia of the ONG office, who both have worked very hard to make this happen. With Rotary, we like to partner with other NGOs such as hospice. We seek to do projects that have high impact in areas of the greatest humanitarian need. We are addressing water and sanitation needs. We have now completed 1,475 self-constructed 12,000-liter rainwater harvesting systems. We have built over 100 dry composting toilets, and we're still building. SEDESA is our partner in this work. We've also supported basic literacy and education through our mobile library, where CASA was our partner. We are now partnering with Apoyo Gente Emprendedores with funding to expand basic business literacy and provide interest-free loans to those entrepreneurs ready to bootstrap themselves out of poverty. The Escuela Especial de Education, the Deaf School, was founded by Rotarian John Doherty and continues to be supported by Rotary Midday and many Rotary clubs in the United States. So NGOs, we are looking for ways to support your passions and make a lasting difference in San Miguel. Think about partnering with us and let us help you achieve your dreams. This year we're addressing the complicated issues facing young girls in rural communities. So forgive me for talking about things that are taboo to discuss in public, but girls reaching puberty and having their first period are missing up to 20% of their school time due to lack of access and financial capacity to obtain appropriate products to manage the menstrual cycle. Often they lose self-esteem because they do not know about this natural process that they are experiencing. There are many taboos and false narratives surrounding menstruation. Rotary, working with the Secretary of Education in Guanajuato and Niña Sabias, has trained 10 young women who will teach girls basic body literacy, and will empower them to achieve their potential. This project will reduce gender disparity and let girls learn and participate on a level playing field, same as the boys. Each girl completing the program will receive an eco-friendly, washable, and reusable menstrual management kit, and we expect to reach 2,000 girls in the first phase of this project. For less than $50 per girl, we can change their lives permanently. I am proud that Rotary is leading this effort, and we need all of you to help us make it happen. Our club's work requires the cooperation of many of you locally and many Rotarian resources internationally. We are fortunate to be supported in projects by more than 60 Rotary clubs, 20 Rotary districts, and the Rotary Foundation. But we also need local funding to implement initial steps of projects like the Girls Empowerment Project. So from the groundswell and grassroots needs of our rural community, let's address the most important issues facing our constituents, and let's do it together. If you have a dream and you need a partner, talk to Rotary. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your generous support, and I now call on David Bossman to introduce our speakers.
Thank you, President Lee. Very good talk. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. How many members of ONGs are here today? Raise your hand. Yeah, it's a pretty good turnout. Okay. The reason I ask is because I have the honor of introducing Sofía Alvarez, who's already on stage. Some of you know her as Sofía Espinoza. In a few short months, Sofía and her colleague, Paulina Nunez, have done and helped to highlight the non-governmental organizations here in our city. Those of you who have been around a while, I'm talking about a long time, like Lee Carter here, Terry Kavanaugh and others, know that the tradition of the ONGs goes back to the 80s and 90s, even the 70s in San Miguel. I got here in 97, and that was one of the reasons that I came. Sense of community, charity, and that tradition has been continued. And we saw the best of that tradition, strangely enough, during the pandemic, when so many of you, Mexican and expat, worked together, okay, to conquer that dreaded disease and help protect all of us in San Miguel and in Mexico against that. We lost a lot of good people, okay? The last count in San Miguel was, I think, 230 we lost over a 2-year period. And thank goodness today we could say that most of it has been handled. So I think immediately of people like Paco Garay, who's not here today, who did so much in terms of getting the vaccines out to all of us. I think of Terry Kavanaugh, who is with us today, who not only is a wonderful Rotary member, but also directed the ONGs during 3 special years and worked wonders getting the lunches, okay, to people who were involved. Terry, why don't you stand up? Come on, let's give Terry a big hand. The point is that when old and new ONGs get together, they can work wonders. And one of the messages we're trying to get to our mayor, okay, is that the government cannot do it alone. Cannot do it without all of you out there working that. I won't get into the politics of it and AMLO and all of that. The important thing is that San Miguel has had and continues to have almost more ONGs than anywhere else in Mexico per capita. Per capita. Nobody knows an exact count, even Sofía. But the last I know, unofficially, we have well over 100 ONGs in San Miguel, and 60 definitely active ONGs. That's an incredible number, not only here in Mexico, but in the world. You check almost any city, you will not get that number per capita. So there are a lot of people in this room that have contributed that to that. Sofía Alvarez, I'm not going to go over her academic credentials. I don't think that's what's important. What's important is that she and Paulina and all of you are continuing that tradition. So rather than say anything more, let's give the talk over to Sofía Alvarez. Let's give her a hand.
Good morning, Rotary Club members. Good morning, NGO leaders. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a bit nervous. But it's a pleasure to meet with you today. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your strong commitment, your leadership, and your willingness to work together for the well-being of our society, for the common good of San Miguel. I will keep my remarks brief, since I am also here to listen to you. I'm more interested in listening to your views and concerns. And of course, we are all waiting for President Trejo.
He's here.
He's here.
He slipped in.
All right. To give us his insights of what he has accomplished in the last year and what's heading for 2023. I will hurry up and wrap up what is most important. And the most important thing I want to tell you is thank you. Thank you very much for all that you've been doing for humanity. We simply cannot do it without your passion, your ideas, and of course, your criticism, which is welcome, so we can improve. In recent weeks, I've started a discussion of priorities and opportunities for my forthcoming 2023 year term as liaison to the NGOs and foreign community. And your voices and your views are crucial. It is important we all forge a common agenda for sustainable peace, justice, prosperity, freedom, and equality. One of the most important lessons I've learned from my great mentors is the power of partnership. Governments cannot do it alone. We need the support from businesses, civil societies, philanthropists, great leaders. We need coalitions, we need alliances. By working together, NGOs, businesses, philanthropic groups, national agencies, government, we can leverage our efforts and resources. Together, in coordination and cooperation, we can achieve outsized results on virtually any aspect of our shared agenda. And without further ado, I introduce our mayor, Mauricio Trejo. But first, we will watch a brief video.
Darles una gran noticia que nos llena de orgullo a todos los sanmiguelenses. Por quinta ocasión, San Miguel de Allende es distinguida como la mejor ciudad pequeña del mundo por los Reader's Choice Awards, reconocimiento más antiguo y prestigioso de excelencia en la industria de viajes de la revista Condé Nast Traveler. Esto nos habla de que las cosas se están haciendo muy bien en San Miguel, que aquí avanzamos todos juntos, que tenemos una ciudad segura, con empleo, con oportunidades, limpia, cálida con los visitantes, que tiene servicios públicos óptimos para sus ciudadanos y para quienes nos eligen en sus viajes para vivir la mejor experiencia de su vida. Lo que hemos logrado nos demanda un compromiso mayor, cuidar lo que tenemos y seguir mejorando cada día. La primera vez que se obtuvo este reconocimiento internacional fue en el 2013, durante la primera gestión como presidente municipal de Mauricio Trejo. Por eso nos sentimos doblemente contentos de poder celebrar nuevamente junto a todos los sanmiguelenses que sigamos siendo referente de turismo y cultura ante los ojos del mundo, ubicándonos por encima de destinos icónicos como Oxford en el Reino Unido, Brujas en Bélgica o San Sebastián y Málaga en España. Comúnmente se le conoce en nuestro país a San Miguel de Allende como la joya de la corona. Y para quienes vivimos aquí, hemos asumido a nuestro municipio como una joya real, a la cual cuidamos y protegemos para el beneficio de todas nuestras familias. Tenemos arraigado en nuestros corazones que somos ciudad patrimonio de la humanidad y nos esmeramos en que nuestra historia, cultura y tradiciones también se quede en los corazones de quienes nos visitan. Hoy vamos a hablar de los logros que hemos construido en 365 días de trabajo intenso. Un año retador, donde no hemos descansado para levantar y recuperar la economía de nuestro municipio, que quedó notablemente golpeada por los efectos de la pandemia, siendo la actividad turística una de las más afectadas, ya que el 85% de nuestro Producto Interno Bruto deriva del turismo. Esto sin duda es resultado del trabajo en equipo con todos los órdenes de gobierno, estatal, federal y municipal, poniendo como prioridad siempre los intereses de los sanmiguelenses. Pero el mejor equipo ha sido construir de la mano de cada uno de ustedes. Porque un municipio seguro y en paz no lo construye un alcalde ni la policía, sino cada ciudadano que valora y quiere vivir con tranquilidad, que es respetuoso de la ley, que cuida sus calles, que hace uso adecuado de los recursos públicos y que ayuda a mantener limpios los espacios públicos. Quienes aquí invierten también dan lo mejor de sí con sus servicios para que nuestra gran joya brille en México y en todo el mundo. Tan es así que 4 de nuestros hoteles fueron reconocidos en la lista de los 10 hoteles más importantes de México, con votos recibidos de todo el mundo. A San Miguel le va mejor cada día, justamente porque gobierno, ciudadanos, sociedad civil, empresarios y productores del campo estamos comprometidos en que le vaya bien a nuestro municipio, a su gente, y que todo el que nos visite se quede con las ganas de volver.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad to be here in our meetings, in the meetings that we planned to have during these 3 years that I'm going to be president. And I really wanted to have that video for you translating, but it wasn't possible because Maritere do Varganes had too much to do. But I hope that some of you could understand a little of what that video said. And that video says that a good city isn't built by the mayor, neither by the police. A good city, it's built by the citizens, by people like you that get together or individually do some good actions about the city. And San Miguel de Allende, of course, there's a lot more to do. But if we put a balance of these 360 days that just passed, I think that we are in the right path. And I think that we are achieving more good things than bad things that have been happening. You also saw the mayor dancing. Some criticized me because I was enjoying with the people, giving them shots. I cannot deny who I am, and I will never deny who I am. I am a guy that enjoys life when it's a time to enjoy it. I am a guy that works for the young people and teach them how to manage their life in order to make them take their own decisions. The key is not in prohibit them what to do or to do something. The key is in teaching them that everything has to be done with balances. So for those that didn't like Mayor Mauricio dancing with the people and drinking a few drops of tequila with them, I'm sorry, this is who I am when I can do it and I'm not breaking any laws. Thank you, David. Could I be a better dancer? Of course I could. But that's not who I am. Also, I'm not a liar. And that's who I am, a guy that tells the truth, even though sometimes people don't like it. But I think that we have to keep telling us the truth. When we first met, we agreed in that you guys were going to tell me what you think and that I was going to tell you what I think and that we were going to have a transparent conversation during these next year. And I'm still keeping my word, okay? In 360 days, we have had bad things. Bad things had happened to our neighbors in Celaya, in Irapuato, in Querétaro. Bad things had happened in Paseo el Grande, in Comonfort. Very, very bad things. That some people don't understand why that degree of, how can I say, evilness doesn't happen in San Miguel de Allende. Well, because we're doing our best to have a safer city. Well, how can you say, Mauricio, that San Miguel is safe when you all know how many people have been killed during 365 days? Well, because according to what was happening in 2019, and why I'm comparing 2021 to 2019, is because in 2019, it was a regular year. It was a regular economical year. And 2021 and 2022 are the same. 2 regular years. That's why I'm comparing to 2019. And if we compare the number of people that have been killed in 2019 with the people that have been killed in 2022, we have lowering that data. David has been informed you during these days how many people have been killed, and it's true. I haven't disagreed with David in the information he has been given, because it's true, every single one, but it's also true that we are doing so much better than in 2019. And that is the path that we were supposed to take, and that's the path in which we have to maintain ourselves. What do we have to do? We have to create more jobs. You all know a good economy in the hands of every single family, it's part of the key of having a safe city. That's why in 365 days, we had more than $800 million of foreign and national investments. We became the municipality #1 in the state in that kind of money, more than $800 million in 1 year. We bet Silao, Irapuato, Celaya, and we're supposed to be the ones that live just because of the tourism. Now, we're the #1 in the economical issue. So, if we have those kind of investments, we're gonna have better jobs, and we cannot. The better way to have social development, it's creating solid jobs, because I can give all the money that you want to the poor people, giving them food assistance, health assistance, whatever you name. But the better way to help them is to create jobs. But in the same way, not to destroy San Miguel de Allende. And that was happening during the last 3 years. Let San Miguel de Allende to grow in the way it was growing. It was going to kill the magic of San Miguel de Allende. It killed the water source in San Miguel de Allende. We had a deficit of 5 million square meters of water. Now we have 7 million square meters of water more than the last year. It means that we don't have the deficit, but also we have 2 million square meters of water for reserve. Okay? Thank you. But at the same time, it's not just taking the water out of the ground. We kept building these holes that maintains the water and filter the water into the ground again. By now, we have built 35 so far, and we want to build 35 more this year. So we're going to have 70, I don't know how to call them, presas, reservoirs to filter the water into the ground. And that's the way we have to keep the balances. Yes, we need more water to take out of the ground, but we need to take water into the ground too. Also, we have planting a lot of trees, not small little trees that will be destroyed in less than 2 months. Big trees. We have been created new small forests in the different neighborhoods. We put back the trees that the last government take away from Avenida Guadalupe. Now they are there. They are there, they are growing, they look great, and they producing oxygen. And we were talking about how bad the schools were. The last meeting, we talked about how we found the schools in San Miguel de Allende. If a kid doesn't have education, it doesn't have the intelligence. If the kid doesn't have the intelligence, he won't be able to see the opportunities. If the kid isn't able to see opportunities, he's not going to take them. And he's going to be poor for the rest of his life. So far, we have put our hands into 155 schools, even though it's not our job. It's the state government job and the federal government job. We have put our hands into 155 schools. We have painted them, we have given chairs, chokes, I don't know how to call, pizarrones, blackboards. We have rebuilt 155 schools in San Miguel de Allende. And that's a big, big effort, and that's one of the efforts that I feel more proud, for sure. Also, in the security thing, we have trained our police officers. We have trained them much better than they used to be. We raised their salary to 24,900 pesos a month. They used to make 12,000 pesos a month or 15,000 pesos a month. Now they make 24,900 pesos a month, each one. Why 24,000 pesos a month? Because we know that the cartels pay 20,000 pesos a month. That's an information that is there. It's open. So we needed to do better. We needed to do better. I'm not criticizing. We're talking about how much money one person receives. I mean, if there's someone that is going to pay them more to do a different job than the one they are supposed to do, they're going to take it. So now in San Miguel de Allende, we pay more than the criminal groups do. Almost 5,000 pesos more than they. And that gives us good police officers. That motivates our police officers. But also, before I took office, the officers had an insurance in case they died defending us of 100,000 pesos. You know how much that's a relative cost, almost 100,000 pesos. That was insurance. So how can a police officer risk their lives for you and risk the rest of their lives, of their kids, because they're gonna die? I don't want anyone to die, but it's just an example. If they die, their kids are gonna be in poverty the rest of their lives. Just because they're going to defend us? No way. No one is gonna defend us if their relatives are gonna be in risk. So right now, they have an insurance of 5 million pesos. And that, of course, that creates happy police officers, proud police officers. But the third thing that we had to do is give them the right tools. They were complaining, and we all know that they were pissed off 2 years ago. They made some kind of a riot in front of the municipal office because they were demanding better tools to do their job. Right now, we have invested more than 15 million pesos in their tools. Now, the police officers that requires, because they're women, a different kind of anti-bullet vest, they're getting them. Starting with those small details, women police officers have different kind of uniforms because their anatomy. And that makes them a better police officers. Now we have a cafeteria. Now they have a shooting range. And everything started to work and everything started to make sense. The crimes are going down, some crimes, and some crimes we haven't been able to be success. But this year, we will be successful because now we have better police officers, better trained, with better tools. Plus, the investment that we're going to start to do of 100 million pesos because we're going to have more video cameras and we're going to have a better C4 building in which we're going to have more screens because more cameras, it means more screens in order to watch more area because you can have 500 video cameras in town, but having just 15 guys to watch 500 video cameras is not enough. So we're also going to duplicate the number of people that is watching all those video cameras. So we're going to invest $100 million municipal money in the next 9 months. So everything is gonna start working so much better with your help, with our decision to do it, and in some things we have been successful. We have to keep our effort the same. But in the other issues in which we haven't been able to succeed, well, we already have better strategies that we're going to start working in them since starting November. And let's see what happens. I'm very positive about that. Okay, but we have to have the San Miguel that we had a long time ago. And we have to keep San Miguel de Allende as the oasis that is. There's a lot of bad things going on around us. And we still can walk in the streets. So in that, it's not the medal that needs to be hung in Mauricio Trejo's neck. It's a medal that has to be hung in your neck because you are the guys that have been doing it. Thank you very much for the help that I have been received in the matter of security. Thank you. And trusting me is the first thing. The first thing in order to allow me to work in the way I'm doing. Also, San Miguel de Allende is a traditional town. I'm so happy to see that 100% of the traditions happened during this year. Now we had a year full of traditions in the streets. And that's something that makes San Miguel special. We had it, we made it, and the magic is coming back. Also, we recovered the Parque Juárez. We destroyed the patronatos that were created not to maintain the Parque Juárez, neither the Seferino Gutierrez. They were created in order to make commercial stores or to rent for weddings or whatever you think. You can imagine those patronatos were made for that purpose. So they are gone, and the Parque Juárez and the Parque Seferino Gutierrez belong to the San Miguelenses. And who's San Miguelense? The guy that was born here? The guy that decided to come and live here. That is the one that is San Miguelense. So those parques belong to the San Miguelenses again. And we will never allow that happens again. And we're working in the ayuntamiento in order to pass some laws that prohibits that some mayor creates patronatos in order to commercialize the public areas that belongs to all of us. Thank you. Every time the city makes a move, there's some authorities called contencioso administrativo. There are some kind of judges that can revoke the action that the city took against some people. That's one of our main concerns for this year, but I'm not afraid at all. I'm pretty sure that there might be corruption in contencioso administrativo, because it's funny that all the actions that we take in pro San Miguelenses had been attacked by 70% of those actions have been attacked by one magistrado. And there are 5. 80% of them with 2 magistrados out of 5. I mean, it means that someone is giving a specific magistrado all the actions that San Miguel is doing in order to take down our decisions. But we have beat him, and we have beat him bad. They gotta be ashamed of the work they're doing. And I know that this is going on in, the people is watching this through Zoom. And as I said in my last intervention on the 11th, well, guys, magistrados, work good. Let us have the San Miguel that we all dreamed. And if there's a chance that you are ruling against us because of corruption, take that away, because we're going to beat you. I mean, we have better lawyers. The ONGs have been working very good, and congratulations. Congratulations, Sofía. They're working very, very, very good. And now we have dogs refugee Is that right? Refugio de perros? Refuge. Shelter, center, refuge. Now it's happening. Now it's happening. Everything because of the pressure that the ONGs puts on the mayor. Not in the presidencia, that puts on the mayor. In my Facebook, in my WhatsApp. And now it's working fine. But I was very clear to them. I'm going to make the infrastructure. I'm going to pay the guys that are going to be in charge and that are going to take the actions that you, ONG, tells them to do. But if an animal needs to be sacrificed after he's not adopted, it needs to be done. So they are doing their best in order to put those dogs into adoption, and I'm doing my best in order to hold the time in which we have to put them to sleep, and we have been very successful on that. Animals have rights too, you know. And I know some of you might be thinking, yeah, but Mauricio Trejo, you were a hunter. But that's not an issue. I am what I am. I'm talking about what we are doing. And now the dogs in San Miguel de Allende have better chances. And everything because of the ONGs. So thanks again, Sofía. Okay? Economically speaking, we have doing great because we have been making so much more money than we thought. We thought we were going to make 1,200 million pesos during 2022. Now we have received 1,600 million pesos. So we have made 400 million pesos more than what we thought. So if the city has more money, and that's a record, no one has achieved that. If we have more money, we have more schools to help. If we have more money, we have more streets to build in the poor areas. If we have more money, we can build the infrastructure that the comunidades really need. And that super habit, that's where it's going, to the comunidades. So economically speaking, we are doing great. And we're trying to take the old buses away from the World Heritage area and bring a new generation of buses, electric ones. So we can be in balance with nature, so we can be an example of in which small areas San Miguel de Allende can be modernizarse. Because San Miguel de Allende has been developed through conservation, not through modernization. But in those small areas, of course, we need technology. And if I can do that, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the one. San Miguel de Allende, at least the World Heritage area, is going to have electric and small free buses for everyone. Who's against that? Contencioso administrativo. It's against. But now we're winning the battles and we're going to win that war. And it's sad to talk about that. It shouldn't be a war. It should be a party. It should be a moment of joy between state or some other kind of niveles de gobierno. and the municipality. It should be something that we all should agree. Why they're against that? I don't know. Because we belong to different political parties? Maybe. But Guanajuato shouldn't work like that. Guanajuato shouldn't work like that. Guanajuato should work as one. If you belong to El PAN, fine. You belong to Del PRI, fine. If you belong to Morena, fine. We all work together, because bad things are happening in Guanajuato. So Guanajuato needs the help of everybody. We don't need to do dirty politics, and that's what they're doing. But we're going to win that war for sure. That's why I think that I'm going to be the one that is going to make the electric buses possible. Okay? Thanks. We have received a lot of help from the fiscal, Carlos Samarripa. He already sent 2 units specialized or specifically to work with women. If a woman is attacked by her husband, her son, her friend, or whoever you want, if she's attacked and she doesn't feel safe going to Ministerio Público in order to put the denuncia, those units are going to go to her house. And they're going to take all the declaratoria right there in the place that she decides. And that's a great, great step forward in helping women to feel safer in San Miguel de Allende. We're also going to start building a shelter for women that suffer some kind of attack and don't have anyone or where to go. We're going to have that shelter for women, and we're going to be so happy to have him there until they feel safe, or until the one that attacked them has been captured, or at least until he has been called, and to know that he's been watching by the law. And that shelter, it's another thing that I'm very proud of it. And that shelter is being built with the city and also with Congresswoman Yulma Rocha, which belongs to the El PRI, with Desiree, which is another congresswoman that belongs to the Movimiento Ciudadano political party, and Marta. Marta belongs to the Verde Ecologista. You see, we can all work together. It's not a matter of political parties. It's a matter of who wants to do something good. So women are going to be safer in San Miguel de Allende, and that's for sure. And we have to keep ourselves in that path. In the desarrollo social, social development, we have built more than 140 kilometers of roads in the comunidades. We bought tractors, so the guys that siembran, that plant corn, have better chance to have better results, and those tractors are for free. They just gotta ask for them. They don't have to use a mule anymore. They don't have to use their kids anymore in order to prepare the land. Now we have free tractors that are used for free. And we were successful in 2,000 hectares. which is 4,000 acres. And now, the Campo San Miguelense, it's more productive than in other years. We also gave him seeds. We also give him fertilizers, using part of the lirio that we're taking out of the presa. And the news, because right now it's the time in which they are harvesting the corn. And we have good numbers, and we're gonna keep doing that. So if we keep helping them in that matter, if we keep giving them jobs, if we are an administration that economically speaking is doing great, if we keep providing more security or lowering the insecurity, everything is going to start working at the same time this year, and the results are going to be great. The only thing that I ask is to keep this kind of meetings with me in the more transparent way. I already have a stone in a shoe. I don't matter to have 2, 3, or 4. A stone in the shoe is not a bad thing. Stone, yeah, David Bossman is the stone that I have inside my shoe. I feel it every day, every day. Really, really, like if you had a stone in your shoe. But does a stone in the shoe really harm you? You are walking and you just feel it. But nothing happens. Nothing bad happens. Everybody has had a stone in a shoe. And I'm sure you didn't stop right away, take off your tennis shoe, and take that stone away. I'm pretty sure that you kept walking, and when you had the time to get rid of that stone, you did it. I'm not saying that I'm gonna get rid of you. Okay? So, what I mean is I need to feel you. We need to keep with these meetings, and you guys have to be very, very transparent in the questions, in your demands. I'm not going to get mad. You guys don't have to get mad, but I do gonna answer very sincerely. And it's Mauricio, the one that is gonna be answering, okay? But that's the key. Let's keep working together during these next 2 years. And in the sports, I see Laura Leiva here. I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, but is it the year in which you have received more support from a presidente municipal? ¿Es el año que más apoyo has recibido de un presidente municipal?
En la administración suya pasada también.
Ok, pero...
Sí.
Ok.
Creo que el deporte, puedo hablar en general, estamos mejor.
Okay, she's saying that in sports we are better than ever, and she's a professional boxer.
Quiero decir algo.
So we're doing good, and we're working hard. We also recovered the Unidad Deportiva. The tennis courses are looking better than ever. We built 4 pickleball. I don't know, how do you call it? Courses? Because course.
You got Fred Collins back there. He's very happy.
Okay. We're going to build 3 more in that Unidad Deportiva. We built a CrossFit gym that has been a great success. You should see the class from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10 in the morning. Just young guys. You should see the classes from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. It's full young guys. We are about to finish the boxing gym, and it's going to be full of young faces. And we're going to build the second Unidad Deportiva in Parque Bicentenario. Huge, beautiful, beautiful. It's going to be full of trees, gardens, tennis courses, pick and ball course, football fields, volleyball, everything. Space for young kids, for kids. It's going to be one of the main projects of my 3 years. Okay, so it's going to be a great achievement. And we're going to be able to use the concha acústica. Finally, because it needs to be used. So if it is right there in the new Unidad Deportiva, we're going to be able to have a lot of nice concerts. And if that place looks beautiful, everybody is gonna be asking for concerts. Everybody is gonna be waiting for concerts in order to go right there. It's gonna be a great example in the state, that Unidad Deportiva. So, because Lee has the knife, and he showed me that I needed to talk until 12:40, and it's 10:39. I'm gonna send you not this part of the video that you saw, which is great, the whole video, but in English, okay? I'm gonna see how, technologically speaking, it's possible to send you 40 minutes of video. So we're gonna be in touch with Sofía and David, and maybe in next week, you guys are gonna be able to have it. You're gonna have all the information, almost all the information of 365 days, okay? And to finish my words, let me tell you that we sued some of the guys that used to work in the last administration, 31 demands, 31 suits, because they sold land that belongs to the city in the cheapest, more ridiculous prices ever. We already recovered 2 pieces of land, big ones, and I'm very happy of it. And that's in one of that land is in which the woman refuge is gonna be built. So everything is working fine, okay? So wait for the video, okay? And in the next meeting, the questions can be about the video, not about what I talk, because 40 minutes, I need to generalize everything. And Philip, thank you very much for being always there, okay? Thank you. Sofía, thank you. David, thank you. Rotarios, thank you very much.
Let's see if you thank us after the questions.
I'm sure I will. As I tell you, a stone in the shoe, it doesn't harm. You just feel it there. Thank you very much.
I know that everyone would like to ask their own question, but we know that won't work. Okay? And plus, we have Zoom people. I'm sure we have a full Zoom crowd, and without a microphone passing around, they're not going to be part of the questions too. So we think the best way to do that, if you're agreeable, is to request a white sheet of 3x5 card. We'll pass it to you, pass it back. And what we promise, I know we're not going to get to a lot of questions today, but we will pass along your questions to you later, so that you'll still get your question to Mauricio, but it might not be on the microphone today. Is that agreeable to everybody? Sure. Thank you.
And I'll try to be very clear and short.
You always are.
Thank you.
And I need my glasses, and I need some light on this. At the first Rotary presentation that you gave to us back, I think it was in March, You talked about the improvement to the railroad crossing at the Estacion. And I believe that you indicated that the city had asked the state for funding to improve the crossing, and if not received, the city would make the improvements. Can you give us status on that?
Yeah, well, those meetings ended last month with Secretaría de Desarrollo Social, and they didn't join us in that project. So now it has to be a project that the city has to pay, and I think we're going to have the money for February. So I think that we're going to start building that rail cross in February. I'm not saying that the state didn't join us in other projects. They did, but not in this one.
What is the status of what's being done at the Presa?
Okay, in every presa in the nation is in charge of the federal government. And the department that is in charge of the presas, it's CONAGUA, Comisión Nacional del Agua. I had a meeting with them, and they were very clear with me. We don't have the money. So you can forget about federal government help you with el lirio in the presa. Also, the state government has some other priorities. Of course, at the beginning said, this is a priority, but they show me all the projects that they had, and believe me, there's more important things to do for Governor Diego Sinue than el lirio. I understood that. I support him in that decision. So as the train crossing, it's something that the city has to try to solve. And as I'm going to be as clear as I was last time. We have a company taking the lirio out of the presa, but it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. We are not going to win this battle. We're going to tie. We're in a tie with the lirio. We started with pretty much 700 hectares of lirio, and right now there are like 750 hectares of lirio. So that's as much as we can do, because our budget needs to go to some other priorities, like kids, poor people, etc., than el lirio. So we can keep them like that. That's the only thing I can promise you. But I'm not going to win this battle. The battle against el lirio is not going to be won. It's going to be a tight.
How can you help with the traffic issues in San Miguel? We do not have enough public parking, especially with satellite lots that have been talked about before. We have parking lots that are shutting down versus opening new parking lots.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we all know, one of the main problems of San Miguel de Allende is mobility, and that's for sure. And one of the things that we have to do is not to let San Miguel to grow anymore inside of the World Heritage City area. We cannot let that happen anymore. So the number of hotels, restaurants, that they need to be controlled in this area in which the traffic is unbelievable. Second of all, we need to change the buses. That's why I'm changing to electric ones and smaller ones. Third of all, we need to get rid of some stoplights, but just some. We're gonna keep a few, but we need to get rid of those and bring the glorietas back. That's for sure. And if a guy that owns a lot or a piece of land in the World Heritage City has an offer from a hotel builder, and the hotel builder gets the permits, the guy that owns the parking lot is going to sell. But when the guy that owns the parking lot knows that at least during Mauricio Trejo's administrations, there won't be any licenses to build right there a hotel. He's going to keep the parking lot. And we got to help him with predial, and we got to encourage them in order to see that having a parking lot in San Miguel de Allende is one of the greatest businesses. Low maintenance and full every day. So I'm trying to make him understand that.
Well, the next question is right along that line. What is happening with the Cardo parking lot that was shut down by St. Paul's?
Okay, the Cardo used to belong to the state, and they sold it. Some guys said that Luis Alberto Villarreal bought it. That's not true. He didn't do that. Some other investors did it. The investors are from the United States and from Mexico City. And these guys are one of the few ones that made everything perfectly during the last administration according to licenses. Their licenses are there, their permits are there. Every single paper that we checked, it's fine. And they are planning to build a hotel. But I told them, well, you guys are wealthy. So if I cannot stop you from building a hotel, it needs to be one of the nicest ones that brings something good for the community instead of something bad for the community. So we have been talking with the owners of Waldorf Astorias, these investors, and the city. And the Waldorf Astoria is coming to San Miguel de Allende. And
so
that's
bad.
good, and that's very good. It's going to be a great achievement,
On a little more local note, Josefina Orozco is a mess. Overgrown with weeds, no lighting, no sidewalks, very dangerous at night. Can you please help with that?
Sure.
That's a good answer. Very quick answer, very
Clear
good answer.
and short.
Exactly. For some time, the executive taxis, the green ones, have been given free rein in Parque Guadiana. They park all around the park, along the Mesquite, and the question is why? They believe that the city permits this practice of the green taxis and is taking up a lot of parking spaces. What can be done about that?
Okay, you are right with that, and it's annoying. It's annoying. And again, those licenses were given by the state government. And I have been talking to Olivia Garcia, which is the Secretary of the State, and I said, how can you give more licenses if San Miguel is not ready for that? There are more than 400 executive taxis in San Miguel de Allende. That's very, very, very bad. You were talking about mobility. So I'm talking about how I'm going to make the taxis that don't belong to San Miguel de Allende to go away. And who am I going to face? I'm going to face the contencioso administrativo. And I'm going to make some people from the state government pissed off. I don't care. I don't care because San Miguel goes first. And those kind of licenses have been ruining the mobility of a lot of cities. So my parents live in Guadiana. They visited me 15 days ago, and I noticed it. I noticed it that the taxi ejecutivos were parking right there in the street of Guadiana. So we're going to do something about it. But remember, you have to have my back. Thank you. Whenever I think I do something that you consider it's good for the city. I need you to have my back. Like the young, how? Just when we received the attack from the guys that didn't like, for example, the state government is not gonna like what we're gonna do with the taxis ejecutivos. And of course, some journalist is going to attack that action, the action that I do. So let's not let him crucify Mauricio Trejo. Let's be part of the conversation in those Facebook pages or Instagram pages and let him know that what we are doing, it's good and that you guys agreed with this.
So Facebook is the best way?
Well, in the media or in the space in which they fight back, in that space in which your voice has to be heard. Like what happened in the feria. They really wanted to show a Mauricio Trejo, an image of Mauricio Trejo pouring tequila into minors. And that's not what happened. Thousands and thousands and thousands of young guys made their voice heard in every space that I had been attacked. No one attacked Mauricio anymore. And I did it again in the next concert. Just to show them that they cannot have two faces. They cannot say, I am the Secretary of Salud, and what Mauricio Trejo is doing, it's bad. And in the other hand, the Secretary of Tourism asking me to allow a festival that has to be with having young people discovering new kind of drinks. Barra Mexico. I really don't like when people is that hypocrite. So if we are going to agree with something, I need you to have my back as I have yours. And we're going to solve that thing of Guadiana.
If you haven't been to the Facebook page that he has in the municipal, I really suggest you do it. You really keep up on his thoughts and what he's doing. As I said, it's the most transparent government agency I've seen in here since I've been here in the last 8 or 9 years. What's the name of the Facebook page that they should subscribe to?
We don't know yet in which one they are going to fight back.
No, yours. Yours.
Mine is Mauricio Trejo. Pureco. And it's a good page. I like it. It's a good one.
And this is probably the last question that we're going to be able to take today. Thank you for being cooperative. And I'm going to take all of these cards and I'm going to give them to the stone in the shoe. So he'll be able to take the questions and maybe consolidate them and get them to you for later. But this one is very is on my mind too. What is the status of Walmart?
Which Walmart? Not on my watch. I thought the size. I said no. The status, there's none.
Is it going to be developed?
No, not on my watch.
Wow.
Huh? I'm sorry?
Can the infrastructure that has been put in place be removed?
No, I can't. No.
What's going in there?
Huh?
What will go in there?
I don't know.
Not Walmart?
Not Walmart. Not during my watch. And not because we like it or not. I mean, having a Walmart for some could be a good thing. For some, it's the worst thing that could happen in San Miguel de Allende. But if we already have Comercial Mexicana, Soriana, City Market, now you want a Walmart, what is going to happen with our local comerciantes? I mean, Walmart is going to kill them. Walmart, it's the last thing our mercados need. And I'm not going to be the one that destroyed the local economy. Not on my watch.
Thank you so much. A good question to end the day, huh? Thank you for all attending, and thank you for being so honest and straightforward with your questions. Again, we hope to see
thank
you
you
soon.
very much. And I'm really happy to come here with you every time. Okay? So I'm going to wait until David tells me that you guys require the mayor to speak before you. And I'm going to be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Special thank you to the Biblioteca Pública, who let us meet in this space today, and also lets us meet every Tuesday in the Sala Quetzal, probably the nicest Rotary Club meeting place in the world. And so thank you, Mayor. Sofía and Faviola, thank you so much for what you've done and all the things you're doing to make San Miguel a better place. So, and
if you guys watch, the guys that don't know my Facebook page, if you watch it tomorrow, the message that I'm going to deliver to San Miguel, I'm going to be drinking coffee in this one. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you soon.